Welcome to Tasting with Matt and Mike. Today we are tasting some samples of whiskey that was sent to us from the Widow Jane Distillery by Lisa Wicker. We've got three very interesting little sample bottles here, and we're going to try them and do our normal tasting routine.
Sounds great.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to start with a whiskey that's made from a rye mash. In other words, it wasn't in brand new cooperage.
Okay.
And it is a rye whiskey aged in American oak. We'll pour the whole thing.
Bottoms up, yeah.
It's not a huge bottle, but that's the first product. So,
All right.
So what do you think of the nose? Very soft nose.
Very soft nose.
A little bit of that rye grassiness.
Ryegrass. It's definitely like a floral. It almost like a little grape in there. I don't know.
Little grape, I could see that. Little dry raisin maybe.
Something like that, yeah.
You know, here's something that you may want to try, Matt, is take it to your nose and smell it like this, and then take it and smell it like this.
It's like from each end almost, kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It changes the aromas around a little. Like the second way, I'm getting a little more vanilla.
Yeah.
And just a hint of that oak.
Sweeter.
A little bit of that oak too. Almost like a sawdust.
Yeah, it smells different than anything I've smelled previously.
Yeah.
I'm interested to give it
Very light color. You could tell it's used cooperage.
Mm-hmm. Now, what exactly does used cooperage mean?
It means it's been aged, something else has been aged in it before they put the whiskey in the barrel. It's a second use barrel, or maybe even third use.
Okay. And did it have a year age statement on it?
I don't believe there is an age statement. It just says, yeah, it's 91 proof, and it just says aged in American oak.
Okay.
So no age statement means it's at least 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's take a sip. It's pleasant. It's got almost like
nice.
a candied Jolly Rancher apple type note to it to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's got a little bit of like creamy vanilla. I don't get any chocolate, but maybe like a creamy vanilla.
Yeah, I don't think you'll get any chocolate out of something used cooperage like that.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, you definitely get, it's creamy. It's got a great mouthfeel.
It does, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's
Mm-hmm.
almost chewy.
Mm-hmm.
And the finish here is just, I'm still getting some of that, little bit of tart apple fruit,
Mm-hmm.
a little bit of the ryegrass, and just that hint of oak.
Yeah, the oak comes right at the end there for me.
Yeah, it's almost like you're been working out in a lumber yard or something. You get that kind of that sawdust.
Yeah,
Or like if you've been cutting some wood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this tastes really good.
Yeah, it's a very nice whiskey. Let's see what a cranberry does to it. It's interesting. That apple comes almost like a lemon to me.
Mm-hmm. Really brings out a citrus,
Yeah.
lemony citrus note.
And I'm getting a little bit of spice for the first time too.
Mm-hmm. Is it like a white pepper?
Yeah, kind of a floral, white, peppery.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of oak.
Just a little bit of oak. I think it took away a little bit.
Yeah.
But
it's still there.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Still, I mean, I think it tastes really good with the cranberry.
Yeah.
Really
This would probably make a good Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
See what a pecan does for. Well, let's take a drink of water first. Cleanse that. Let's see what a pecan does. That takes the fruit right out of it, but brings out that spice.
Brings out that spice, yeah.
You get that floral pepper, but you also get a little hint of the black pepper coming in there in the finish.
Mm-hmm. And the oak is strong.
And the oak is stronger.
Mm-hmm. Much stronger.
See, those pecans have tannins in them, and I think it's just enhancing the tannins in that oak.
Yeah.
Giving it a drier and a longer finish. This is,
Mm-hmm.
God, I'm still getting a...
Yeah. It's equally as good as the fruity side that you get from, just the initial just tasting, and then with the cranberry, it's more of a, maybe like maybe more of a fruity, sweeter drink, and then with the pecan, it turns it into all like oak in the back of my throat kind of feel, which I love equally as much as the fruity.
And a little bit of that peppery spice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's pretty well rounded.
This would go really well with a pecan-coated salmon.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I have to try that, but it sounds really good.
Bourbon's Bistro's got a salmon that they do pecan.
Yeah, it's a really, really pleasant bourbon there.
Yeah, rye mash technically. Yeah, we got clean glasses.
Yeah.
So the second one we have is the same type of whiskey distilled from a rye mash, but it's been aged in oak and applewood, and it's also 91 proof.
I think they're all 91 proof today, right? Is that correct?
I'm not sure what the third one is. Let's see, is that your glass?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Another sip of water here to clean the palate. Let's see with the nose. That's a very different nose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I like the nose on this as much as I did the first one. You get that ryegrass, and it's almost a medicinal.
Yeah, it's not a particularly pleasant
Yeah.
smell.
I'm assuming that's the applewood. It's definitely it's got a strong wood flavor. Once again, it's like the sawdust.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see what it tastes like. Oh, much better than the nose would indicate.
I can taste the apple.
Taste the apple, but also
Like
a little bit
raw
of
cinnamon.
citrus.
Citrus. I'm getting some cinnamon in there.
Some cinnamon, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Which is nice because apple cinnamon's one of my favorite things. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's nice.
Particularly on the finish. The finish is like an apple cinnamon.
Yeah.
Like you just took a big bite of fried apples and cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's actually very tasty, and the nose would not lead you to believe like that's how that's how it tastes. So.
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
very nice.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try it with a cranberry here.
spicier.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got spicier.
But it's not so much cinnamon now. To me, it's almost like it's cinnamon is still in there, but there's also a little bit of a nutmeg, allspice, something a little sharper, you know. And
yeah, I mean, I was thinking like cayenne almost, like it.
Yeah.
That kind of, yeah. Yeah, still very good. I think I like the initial, like, just the regular flavor of it without the cranberry more.
Yeah.
But that, you know, personal preference, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, time to
Try a pecan here. Oh, that's everything. Kind of brought out a French vanilla to it.
Yeah, and a hint of apple's still there.
But it's not as fruit dominated. And there's a little bit of cinnamon and other spices, but there's more oak than spice.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not getting much spice at all.
Just a little bit more in the finish than anything.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of that, you know, cinnamon, nutmeg, cayenne, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
Spiciness there on the end. And the finish is lasting for a long time. And actually, I think the finish is getting better as it
kind of marinates back there. Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a solid entry. I think it's really good.
Yeah. Well, I expect nothing else out of Lisa Wicker and Widow Jane. She does a really good job. Lisa has one of the best palates that I know of. You know, she's really good at marrying whiskeys together to bring out really good flavors. Very nice. Let's cleanse our palate.
And were these all sent to you together as a...
Yeah, Lisa sent me these 3 samples of her whiskeys to give it a try. Yes, it is 91 proof.
Oh.
It is aged 8 years.
Oh.
So this actually has an age statement on it. It's an 8-year-old bourbon, straight bourbon whiskey, aged 8 years in American oak. And the pure limestone mineral water from the Widow Jane mine. That's where they get their name, is that they take their water from the Widow Jane mine in upstate New York.
Okay.
And they actually bring it in by the truckload to Brooklyn, where their distillery is.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I was going to ask you where the distillery was at. Okay. Good bourbon coming out of New York, huh?
Yeah. Well, she doesn't say so here, but at 8 years old, you know, it does say just bottled by. I do believe this is a sourced whiskey, probably from MGP.
And that's in
you know,
Indiana, correct?
Yeah, that's in Lawrenceburg, Indiana.
Okay.
And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, as long as they're picking good whiskey, I have no complaints of where it comes from. You know, as a matter of fact, I've always said that, you know, the rectifiers, people that are buying barrels and bottling it, you know, they're calling them non-distilling producers now. But if they've got a good palate and they're not afraid to reject things that doesn't match what they're looking for, they can come out.
They're going to find some good stuff.
They're going to find some good stuff and bottle it.
All right.
Oh yeah, definitely a really nice nose on this.
Lots of oak for me in that.
Oak, but also strong vanilla, almost like a French vanilla. There's some other things going on here, but I think I'm going to warm it a little. If you cover your glass and hold it against your body to warm the whiskey. It helps release some of the aromas. As the whiskey warms, more of it goes gaseous and. Oh, much better.
Oh yeah.
There's a fruit in there. I want to say something like plums.
Yeah, I can see plums.
Maybe a little bit of a sweet cherry.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's deep in there, but it's there. I'm getting like just a hint of cocoa.
Hint of cocoa.
It's a light.
I can
as
see
I,
that.
As I keep sniffing it,
Yeah.
it's coming through for me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Let's take a sip. Oh, that's nice.
That is nice. That's full flavor. Like I'm getting the vanilla, and I'm getting it's like just a hint of like not milk chocolate, but like a dark chocolate.
Yeah.
Kind of towards the end, not quite in the finish, but like right in the back.
Right.
Right in the back here.
Well, it does linger into the finish.
But
I'm still getting a little bit of it. Yeah, I know what you don't get it in the initial taste, but as you
starts to get back
in there, you get a little bit of that dark chocolate. You're getting that cherry, plum, fruit.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a little bit of oak. I'm getting just a little bit of maybe cinnamon, but I'm not really sure it's cinnamon. It might be more something like coriander.
Yes, coriander sounds pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I mean I really like it.
Yeah.
Like this is something I could session out with for a while, and just enjoy for a while,
Sit there with a glass of this and your guitar and just...
Yep. Sit on my back porch and, and just kind of jam out with this. Yeah.
Let's try it with a cranberry.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it really brings out the chocolate.
Mm-hmm. Chocolate. I'm getting like a little brown sugar.
Yeah.
And yeah. The finish is, I don't know, maybe I'm getting that cinnamon more in the finish now that we've had the cranberry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Getting more of the spice in the finish.
I could say almost.
A little bit of oak.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a bitter tannic oak. It's what I call a sweet oak.
Yeah. I could see myself enjoying this in old fashioned, like you said earlier, like with the fruit.
Yeah, an old fashioned.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could definitely drink it just straight too. It's delicious, but yeah, I almost like it better with the cranberry.
Yeah.
Or just as much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one here definitely I would think of something like an old fashioned or as a cocktail. That applewood. I think that might be a really good whiskey sour whiskey.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
I think the first one would be a Manhattan if I was going to make a cocktail.
All right.
Well, let's cleanse our palate.
Okay.
Try it with a pecan. Oh, that's interesting. Kind of took the fruit right out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time,
I get like I'm getting on the mouth like that dark chocolate, but now it's like 90% dark chocolate. Like I get like a really bitter dark chocolate.
that's what I was gonna say. At the same time, that chocolate just really comes out.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of biting into a pecan and chocolate candy bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I'm still getting a little bit of that lingering pecan and then that chocolate.
Mm-hmm. And then the oak at the end for
A
me.
little bit of oak.
Mm-hmm.
But interesting, I think the finish was longer with the cranberry.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I was about to say I'm still feeling it back there.
I'm getting it, but it's not as strong. You know, that cranberry, I had that nice, strong chocolate oak flavor all the way through. But this one, it kind of mellows the finish a little, I think. I think because I think it takes a lot of the spice out.
Yeah, I didn't get much spice at all in that. Yeah.
Yeah. But a very nice whiskey.
Very nice whiskey.
So that's tasting with Matt and Mike. Cheers to you all.
Cheers.